wrapped in a single sexy package. So I'm looking forward to trying that. Choose the bear, man. Choose the bear. Hi, I'm Suck Marionette, doing business as Bargain Counter Argument, and I'm a middle-aged lady in a tiara talking about books. And today I'm doing a coming and going video, or more of a going and coming video, because I'm doing both a library unhaul and haul. So let's see what's in the bags. So these are not in any particular order because I put them in the bag according to like how they fit rather than in the order I read them. So we're going to start with a couple of poetry books. Last month, April, was Passport to Connecticut Libraries, and one of the Connecticut libraries I went to was featuring poetry books because April was National Poetry Month. Might have even been International Poetry Month. Not sure. So a couple of them caught my eye. Bestiary by Donica Kelly, who is a queer Black woman, and this is her first collection. And I love the cover, and it's rough going. She's had some tough times in her life, and understandably, she wants to process it through poetry. I liked it. I don't know that enjoy is quite the right word. I didn't leave a rating on Goodreads because I find at least these poems and the other poetry book I'm going to talk about in a moment are so confessional that it's like trying to grade somebody's memoir. It's like, what are you really grading here? I liked it, but she's, like I said, she's had some tough times, and bestiary is, a lot of the poems are kind of about the animals we not so much are, but we could be if that were what we were. It's poetry. I always find it difficult to explain or analyze poetry. It just let it wash over me. And then we have The Glass Globe by, what is her name? Margaret Gibson. I kept thinking it was Elizabeth. By Margaret Gibson. And she was the Poet Laureate of Connecticut from 2019 to 2022. So The Glass Globe is about grief and how it ripples outward. The poems in here were written after her husband died of Alzheimer's. And also she weaves that into, it kind of goes out to grief from her husband's death all the way out to climate change. So which is something she's very an activist about, climate change. So this was also good. Again, how do I rate poetry? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't read enough of it to have developed a system yet. But I'm glad I read both of these books. They were really something else. And then also we have Lure by Elaine Milburn, which is a graphic novel. And I really liked it. The art is amazing. And it's about a woman who goes to work in there's another planet close to Earth that's an ocean planet, and it's kind of being turned into a playground for the wealthy. And as she does her work, she's there with a couple of other artists. She's an artist, and they're there to like create an installation celebrating this new planet and what humans are doing to it. It's not occupied by sentient beings other than humans who have migrated. So, and there's like something going on. It's not as all as it seems. The problem I had with this was the ending was a little abrupt. So I ended up giving it 4 stars because I liked it right up until like the last few panels when it was just like, okay, I guess. But again, not sorry I read it. And then I also read by Charles Burns Final Cut, which is another graphic novel. And it's a horror novel, and the main character is dealing with some unspecified mental illness. Seems like it might be some sort of bipolar disorder, but I'm not sure. I don't know that the diagnosis isn't really important. It's just about how he reacts to people, how his friends react to him. They're trying to make a horror movie, like just like a friends getting together and making a horror movie kind of situation. So I liked it. I did. I think it was 4.5 stars, not quite 5. Okay, that was a little bit of an edit because I kicked the tripod and went all wobbly. Okay, not an earthquake, just me not knowing where my feet were. Okay, so 59 Minutes by Holly Seddon is, hold on, everybody in southern England gets an alert on their phone. Severe alert, nuclear missile threat to South England, 59 minutes until impact. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a test. So this is about a group of people, some of them are in London and some of them are in Devon, and how they react, and what happens during those 59 minutes. It's I liked it. I thought it was good. In some cases, in some ways it was a little predictable, but in other ways it was not. So I really liked it. And she plays with your expectations. It was a good book. Let's see, what else do we have here? I think it was really a kind of like more domestic. Well, it was kind of a thriller, I guess. I don't know how to categorize it exactly, but it was good. I liked it. And then I read a thriller, Lisa Jewell, Don't Let Him In. And this is about Nick Radcliffe is just what Nina Swan needed in her life after her husband's unexpected death. But to Nina's adult daughter, Ash, Nick seems too good to be true. And it goes on from there. I liked it. This chonker is Middlemarch, which I did a buddy read with Alicia, Birdie in the Books, Alicia. Alicia and I buddy read this. We really, really liked it. Now I have my own copy. In fact, I have 2 copies for annotation purposes. So this is going back to the library. This was a nice edition, though. It had footnotes to explain things, and it had a little bookmark, and it was very easy to read. The print's a little on the small side, but it's a fast-paced book, believe it or not, for something this long. This is like over 800 pages. I think we read it in about 7 days. I don't know what her copy was like. Let's see, what else? I have to watch her channel to check it out. Your Behavior Will Be Monitored by Justin Feinstein. This is a speculative techno thriller kind of a deal because it's about AI. Megacorp Uniview is almost ready to cement their reputation as the most trusted name in AI. And Noah is a down-and-out copywriter reeling from a midlife crisis. He isn't the typical hire for a groundbreaking tech company with a morally questionable CEO. So there's a lot of stuff about AI. It's not exactly a thriller. It's just kind of, I mean, there are some moments of peril, potential peril and danger, but it's about like how they're trying to train the AI and how the AI reacts. So I liked it. It was good. I think I gave it 4 stars. Okay, now we have 4 romances. I'm not sure why I did it in this particular order. So I have The Bodyguard Affair by Amy Lee. And let's see. A secret romance writer discovers that the hottest story of summer might just be the one happening between her and the Prime Minister's bodyguard. This was a lot of fun. As Canadian, so if you're looking for Canadian content, this is it. I really like this. I like this so much that when I went to the Barnes & Noble outlet the other day, I picked up a couple of other books by Amy Lee. So that's in a different video. I don't know in what order these will be posted. So I have recorded it. I just haven't done anything else with it yet. So yeah, I really liked this, and it's so much fun. I think this was a 5-star. It should have been. And A Killer Kind of Romance by Letizia Lorini, a love story to die for. I enjoyed this one a lot too. This is about a woman who's a podcaster, and she talks about crime fiction. And then her boss is like, oh yes, we're kind of contracting. So the woman who does the romance podcast quit. And so we decided instead of hiring somebody else to make you full-time. So she has to start reading romance, which she tends to avoid for personal reasons. And then the bad boy that she had a crush on in high school shows up. He lives, I think, next door. He shows up because his father died, and he's there to like handle the estate. And guess what happens? Whew! I really enjoyed this. This has a local Connecticut for me. If The Bodyguard Affair is CanCon, which is Canadian content, this is ConCon for Connecticut content because it takes place in a fictitious town called Willowbrook. It's supposed to be basically right by Wethersfield. I think it's basically where Cromwell is, or yeah, I think there's an extra space between Wethersfield and Cromwell and Rocky Hill to accommodate this town. I enjoyed that a lot and would recommend. 4 or 5 stars? I don't know. And then we have a couple of sapphic romances. We have If I Told You I'd Have to Kiss You by May Marvel, which is the pen name of a couple, a lesbian couple who write together, and it's really good. This is about, it's kind of these two. She's an international spy. She works for the CIA. She's very driven, and she is her girlfriend, and she can't tell her girlfriend anything about her spy activities because it's classified. And because they do live together, but they're not married. And so she doesn't have a security clearance, or so she thinks. But turns out the girlfriend, and this is alternating POV, I'm not telling you anything that's not revealed in the first 2 chapters. Her girlfriend, who she thinks is like a website designer, actually also works for the CIA as a hacker. But their relationship is breaking up, and she is keeping it secret from her because classified. And it turns out that they're breaking up because all of the secrecy, because the secrecy isn't just about their jobs. The whole thing, the communication's not there because they're afraid to communicate. And it just kind of affects everything they're doing. And this is about them actually doing a mission together and attempting reconciliation. It is so good. I don't normally like marriage in trouble, relationship in trouble stories, but this one just hit me right, and I will definitely be looking into more stuff by May Marvel. So good. Also, we have Every Step She Takes by Alison Cochrane. This is about a woman who's going on a kind of a voyage of self-discovery, including her own sexuality, as she comes to grips with the fact that maybe she's not straight the way she and everybody around her has assumed. And she ends up going outside her comfort zone, as they say, when her sister, who is a travel influencer, breaks her leg and she can't go on a trip she had planned. So she goes instead. This lady goes instead. And it is the, what is it called? The Camino Santiago? Camino de Santiago, which they start, which is so you can, old pilgrimage route from, I think you could start in Lisbon, but they actually start further north in Porto, and you go into Spain and go to Santiago, and she's doing it as a hiking trip. I've known people who did it as a driving trip, and they really liked it. And she meets this kind of glamorous lady. Well, she's not glamorous exactly, but she's striking. That's a good word for her, striking. And she decides that she missed out on having a queer adolescence. And everybody on the trip is queer. So they all kind of come together to help her, like, do things like get a bad haircut, get a tattoo, make questionable decisions while under the influence of alcohol. They're like, this is all the stuff we did as teenagers. And she's kind of into it, and it's fun. I did have a comment when I talked about this book in my last library haul video. Somebody left a comment saying that they DNF'd this. And I kind of understand why, and I can probably guess at what point they DNF'd it. But I powered through and I ended up liking it. I think I gave it 3 stars, but I can tell why the other person DNF'd and probably where they DNF'd. So it was not nearly as good as the other 3 romances in this batch. Okay, so that's the library unhaul. And this is going to be a long video. If you only want to see the books I've already read, this is the time to bail. If you enjoyed this part of the video, go ahead, like, comment, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm not the boss of you. And if you want to see the books I've picked up since then that I haven't talked about on the channel, stick around. So those are the books that are going to the library. Now let's talk about the ones that came home from the library. So we have Greta Gets the Girl by Melissa Marr, which I believe is another sapphic romance. I'm finding a lot of those lately, so happy about that. Kaylee is thriving. Grad school is going great. Her first book hits shelves in a few months, and it's been a decade since she had to talk to her homophobic family. And then she has an androgynous hookup, Marie, which is in quotes, who's everything Kaylee wants in a woman wrapped in a single sexy package. But late-night edits and sexy plot twists quickly turn real, revealing the truth. Not just a one-night stand. A co-worker. From hot hookup to workplace fiasco, Kaylee and Greta must figure out that they can have an HEA both on and off the page. So I guess Greta is Marie's real name. Sorry, I skipped over that part. But anyway, that's what's going on with that. And let's see, I have another romance, Friends with Benefits. And Friends to Lovers is the prompt for the Bees Book Club, which is part of her channel membership. So I have this one, and then I have another one that I found at a library sale, which I actually own. So she's a Foley artist. A Foley artist is a person who does like sound effects for movies. In the old days, they like crinkled paper to sound like a fire burning and that kind of thing. So that's what a Foley artist does. I think probably a lot of that's electronic now. I'm not sure. She's responsible for every crisp footstep, smacking kiss, and distinct sound in film and television. That's a fun job. and she gets a fellowship, and then oh, I see, they're roommates. They were roommates. Theo is an elementary school teacher, so they club together to he wants to get a low income house, a special apartment deal, but he has to be married, so, and they've been best friends for a long time, so yes, so friends to lovers, fake marriage. Sorry I didn't describe that super well. I was kind of doing that more on the fly than I should have been. And then let's see, we also have, I don't think I've read anything by Maisie Eddings, but I've heard good things. This is a large print edition, that's why it's so thick. And this is Well, Actually. And so Ava is the host of Sausage Talk, where she interviews B-list celebrities over wieners instead of pursuing the journalism career she dreamed of. So she publicly calls out her college ex for ghosting her. Her video goes viral, and her ex is a beloved social media personality, so he's coming on Sausage Talk so they can talk about it. Like I said, never read anything by her, but I have heard good things, so I'm looking forward to trying that. Okay, one more romance, Vacation Wars by Megan Quinn. Let's see, Tessa is going to Santorini, and before her sister's wedding, but the thing is, Tessa made a deal with her sister back in high school. She has to find her soulmate before her sister's wedding, or else I don't know what the consequences are. And so she's got a childhood crush who happens to work at the resort, and she's trying to get away from all of the setups and pranks that her sister's pulling, so he's an ally, and I'm guessing he's more than an ally based on these Cupid's arrows that are flying all over the place. Okay, so those are the romances. I think I have Stephanie Garber. I have never actually read anything by Stephanie Garber. I have the Caravel series in a beautiful edition that I found on the cheap at Marshall's. This one is Alchemy of Secrets. So it's a magical world in the heart of Los Angeles. So that sounds interesting to me. It has sprayed edges, plain black. Very stylish, very elegant. Let's see, and I have these 3 books by Kirsten Modglin. I think The Atonement and The Amendment are follow-ups to The Arrangement. I believe these are on Kindle Unlimited, which is how I read The Arrangement. These used to be on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if they still are, but I prefer to read physical books when I can. I don't have anything against Kindle, but, you know, I just like physical books. So these are follow-ups. Going to read those. And also by her, but I don't think it's part of that series, The Guilty One. There were a couple of others by her, but they didn't sound as interesting to me, so I didn't get them. And then we have this book, which is called Mystery. It's labeled as a mystery. It is a large print book again, and it is a matchmaking for psychopaths. So her unusual job is matchmaking psychopaths, a specialty her clients are blissfully unaware of. So they don't know that they are psychopaths being matchmade. So we have like these, she meets people and then a human heart appears on her doorstep. More threatening packages arrive. Did she inadvertently match herself with a killer? Choose the bear, man. Choose the bear. Okay, and then I have, I don't know if this is a sequel. I think these are, I don't know if this is related to Destroy All Monsters, but I have Destroy All Zombies, illustrated, Hacks, Preps, and Tactics to Stop the Apocalypse. And this is by James T. Jezorkowski. No, Pepper Press. It happens, this was appealing, and then I, after I checked it out, I think I was reminded of, or found out about, that this is a zombie month for Cat's Novel Adventures. I'll link in the description, so I can participate with this book. I do like zombie books. So those are the books I checked out from the library. I had my reading glasses with me, so I was a little bit more selective. So I don't have any out and out, oh yeah, I'm not going to read this books. So I still have a bunch of library books that I talked about in my last library haul video, but, you know, I'm working my way through them, and you saw that I had a bunch to return, so. So once again, thank you for watching this video, and, you know, I already said the like, comment, share, subscribe, or don't. So I hope you have a good day or night.